The poisoning of a former Russian spy in Salisbury, England, has touched off a series of investigations to not only find the culprits responsible, but to also squeeze President Putin's inner circle. The UK is now examining some 700 visas issued to Russians like Roman Abramovich. The owner of the Chelsea Football Club is one of the highest profile Russians not to have his golden visa renewed. What's a golden visa? Actually known as a Tier 1 investor visa. In return for investing $2.6 million in the UK, an investor can live and work in Britain for 3 years. But checks on where they got that money have been lax. Abramovich and other rich Russians have bought up a lot of prime real estate in London. Premier properties costing tens of millions of dollars. Assets that could be seized in the future if their money is determined to be ill-gotten gains.
We have legislation which allows seizure of assets, some of our anti-terrorist legislation and also our legislation against money laundering and to do with unexplained wealth.
Britain's Foreign Affairs Committee has concluded the use of London as a base for corrupt assets of Kremlin-connected individuals is now clearly linked to a wider Russian strategy. The assets stored and laundered in London, both directly and indirectly, support President Putin's campaign to subvert the international rules-based system. The London Stock Exchange has long been a vehicle for Russian companies to raise cash. Last year, Russian oligarch Oleg Deripaska's N+ group raised more than $1 billion on that exchange. But does squeezing oligarchs who have donated sizable sums to Britain's ruling Conservative Party really put pressure on President Putin?
These oligarchs will move their money out of the UK, which is not a bad thing, but then they'll move back to Russia, which actually helps Putin, because then Putin has a certain amount of control over these oligarchs, and they're beholden to him.
But the British government has to be careful not to overreact. As one Russian businessman told me, just because you're rich and Russian, that doesn't mean you're part of Putin's inner circle. In fact, a lot of Russians came here to escape the Putin regime, and penalizing them, he said, would amount to a hysterical reaction to a poisoning in Salisbury. Dana Lewis, TRT World, London.